This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. My co-host today, Christy Wright, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book Business Boutique, and, of course, the host of the Business Boutique event as well. And we're going to be taking your calls about your life and your money. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Well, America, Ramsey is freaking open for business. Christy, I'm so pumped that we're back on the road.
Yes.
Doing events again. And
this
man,
is what we
lots
do.
of events. This is what we do. I had forgotten how much I love doing these until I couldn't do them anymore.
I know. And then the first one back, you're like, oh, there it is. That's what we've been missing.
Man. So we got two big event announcements today that we want to cut you guys in on. #1, we will be in Dallas for the Entre-Leadership Summit next week, May the 16th through the 19th. Now, Entre-Leadership Summit is arguably the best leadership event in America today.
Yes.
It is one of the top 5 for sure by anybody's calculation. It is a phenomenal experience, top to bottom, the way the attendees are treated, the things that we do for them, and we bring in absolutely world-class speakers. You'll be speaking.
Yes. So every year, and this is one of my favorite events because of exactly what you said. The time, money, and intentionality that we put into this event is unlike anything else we do.
It's massive.
Yeah.
I mean, even the screens are massive.
Yes.
Everything about it is just unbelievable, over the top. So, Ken Coleman will be with us, a bunch of our Ramsey personalities. Dr. John Deloney's doing a session as well. Christy, me, George will be there. Courtney will be there. I'm looking forward to doing a couple of sessions. And we've got just unbelievable news. We just were released by the Secret Service to be able to tell you that George W. Bush will be joining us.
Yes. Oh,
it's my gosh. It's going to be awesome. That's over the top. Jocko Willink will be with us. And he's a former Navy SEAL, best-selling author, absolute incredible. John Maxwell, Papa John, right?
Yeah,
he's
leadership
not that Papa John, but he's
people are going to be ordering pizza now.
He's one of the top leadership speakers of all time and writers of 80+ best-selling books. Pastor Craig Groeschel spoke last year and back this year. Pastor of I think America's largest church at this point,
yes.
LifeChurch.tv and or Life.Church now they call it. And Pat Lencioni back, a fan favorite of our tribe. You can never mess up with Pat. Best-selling author Marcus Buckingham, best-selling author of the Strength Finders series, and he'll be speaking. This is his second time to be with us. Absolutely over-the-top lineup. Jocko, Maxwell, Groeschel, Lencioni, Buckingham. Oh, Dr. Adrian Sternberg will be with us for the first time. She spoke here a few weeks ago at one of our devotionals and brought the house down.
Yes.
She's a force of nature.
She is. And from the very first words out of her mouth, every single person in the room was leaning in.
Yeah.
Like she had us.
Yeah.
She's that good.
Yeah, she's really good. So the problem is, you guys, it's completely sold out.
They're like, wait, why are you telling us this?
It's completely sold out. And with a waiting list to get into the room. And so there's enough people that are out there when America opens up that want to do stuff that it's, we're going to have about 2,500 folks in the auditorium, in the room with us, and absolutely incredible. But here's what we're doing. We're going to live stream it. And we're going to allow you guys in business that want to have a 3-day leadership boot camp with the best minds on the planet, talking to them. We're shutting down all of our leadership team here in Nashville. There's almost 200 of them in our leadership team, and we're putting them in a room to watch this live stream.
Yeah. We believe in it that much.
Yeah, and we're going to, so we're investing heavily in that. And if you want to do that with your team out there and have it live streamed in, you can do that for one price and just buy a license, and you can watch it with 2 people or 200 people, whatever you want to do inside your office. And we want to make sure this information is available because this lineup, George W. Bush, Jocko, Maxwell, Groeschel, Lencioni, Buckingham, Sternberg, Ken Coleman, Christy Wright, John Deloney, me. This is a week of leadership at its best.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll bet you, I haven't added it up, but I'll bet you it's approaching 200 million book sales among that lineup.
Oh, I believe it.
Because these guys have sold just tens of millions of books.
Yep.
It's amazing. So if you want to be involved in this lineup, and watch it live stream, to register, text the word summit to 44222. Our guys will help you out with a site license for you to be able to watch with your whole team. It's not unreasonable, especially when you consider what you would have paid if you were in the room, especially when you consider this lineup. You really would pay this to watch one of these people.
Yeah.
That's what it amounts to. So text SUMMIT to 44222. And we're announcing today the launch of Business Boutique goes on sale for the fall.
Yes.
Coming up in the fall.
People have been asking me like crazy about this, Dave, and today is the big launch day. Yes, we're doing it again like we do it every single fall. Back here in Nashville, which is a great city for a ladies trip, a girls trip. Come with your friend, come bring your spouse if you want to, but it's October 14th through the 16th. So in the fall here in Nashville. And what's so cool about this event, Dave, and we've talked about this, we've seen it year after year, is we have amazing speakers. And people come for the amazing speakers that are experts on everything from money management to marketing to selling, social media, everything you need to start or grow your business, whether it's a side business or a small business or you've got team members. We want to give you what you need to win. But what's so amazing is what happens in that room goes far beyond the sessions and the information. And you've seen this because I know because you've attended, you've spoken at it, but you have seen there's a transformation in their level of confidence.
Yep.
They walk out of that room ready to charge hell with a water pistol, and they believe they can do it. And when you believe you can do it, you'll actually put that stuff into practice. Because even if you have all the best information in the world, if you're scared, you're going to stay stuck. So it's both. It's information and inspiration. And this year we have amazing speakers. You're speaking again, and they always love having you there.
I love it.
Anthony
now,
O'Neill.
this Business Boutique Conference is equipping women to make money doing what they love.
That's right. So it's for women in business.
Yeah.
What type of business? Any type of business.
Right.
Small business, side business, freelance, solopreneur, doesn't matter. If you're in business at any capacity and you're a lady, especially if you're getting started or don't have a team, you're doing it all yourself, or you have a real small team, this is for you.
So Anthony O'Neill will be with us, Jasmine Starr, Nona Jones, Bianca Olthoff.
Yep.
Okay, so tell us what they do.
So now, Anthony, he's going to be speaking on money, which that's what we're known for here. You're going to be speaking on selling, which is such a pain point. Gosh, they feel so uncomfortable with sales and selling. And I love how you always teach how it's really serving, not selling. Jasmine Starr is an expert on social media. Nona Jones, social media. Bianca, she's faith-based. And we're going to cover a lot more topics as well.
Text Boutique to 33789. Tickets are on sale now. That is also going to be live streamed. So 119 in the room, 89 as a live stream. And ladies, you need to get signed up for this quickly. It will sell out very fast. We sold it out even during COVID last fall. So text Boutique to 33789. And you can text Summit if you're interested in the Summit to 44222. Either one of those will get you going, or both of them will get you going. This is The Ramsey Show. Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about life and about money. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Alan is with us in Lexington. Hey, guys, the phones aren't working. Alan's with us in Lexington, Kentucky. Are you with me, Alan? Hey, there you go. Alan,
yes,
are you with me? Alan?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. I got it. Okay. How can we help?
All right. Dave, got a question for you. I'm 53. My wife's going to be 52 next month. Our son's going to be 12 in August. Our household income this year is going to be around $75,000 gross. I have a beneficiary IRA left from my mother in 2009 when she passed. It's got about $338,000 in it. We have a home that's valued by our county PBA at $340,000. Wife and I are debt-free. And I was wanting to ask you about investing this money that's in this beneficiary IRA. We've got it invested the way currently that you teach, but because you can't contribute to it and you have to take an RMD from it every year, if it should be invested any other way other than what you teach because of those stipulations.
No, it doesn't. The contribution doesn't matter. The RMD is just aggravating, and they're even worse now. If you'd gotten it in 2020 or beyond, you would have to drain it all in 10 years. But you're running on a very slim RMD, required minimum distribution, for you folks out there that don't know what he's talking about. But I would just minimize it, because every dollar you pull out of there, you're going to have to turn it into 70 cents because the government's going to take their cut off the top. And so I just let that I'd let that government tax money sit there and earn you money until you don't have to. Now your house is paid for, right?
Right.
Okay. Everything 100% debt free, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then if I owned an inherited IRA that way, thank you. If I owned an inherited IRA, I would take the required minimum and not take it any sooner than possible. Because if you pull it, you're turning. If you pull $1,000 out, you took $1,000, turned it into $700 after taxes.
Yeah.
And you could have used that other $300 that's government money to grow money with.
Explain the RMD. Explain the required minimum distribution. How does that work?
Well, it used to be at 70.5. Now it's at 72. That you're required to begin distributing your IRA because they want a traditional IRA because they want their tax money.
Okay.
They want to get their tax money on an inherited IRA, and the required minimum distribution runs out based on death.
Okay.
Based on an estimated age of death.
date.
So you're going to take a little bit to where by the time you would have died, you would have gotten it all out and they would have gotten their tax money. That was the concept behind it. And so now at 53, 9 years ago or whatever, he inherited his mom's IRA. You have to begin to take it out as if it was at 53.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a small little amount, progressively larger as you get older, that is the required minimum distribution. But the concept is the IRS wants their money.
Yeah.
And but we want to keep it away from them as long as we can.
Yeah, I gotcha.
We're going to push back.
So you're saying leave everything in there?
Yeah, as long as you can.
Yeah.
In a traditional. Now, if it's a Roth, it changes the whole equation, obviously. Okay. And if you, again, under the new rules, if you inherited it in 2020 or later, you're going to have to drain it. It's called the drain in 10 rule. It's what it's nicknamed, but it's 1/10. A 10% a year for 10 years.
Okay.
And regardless if you're 22 or you're 42, you have to begin to take it out all the way down through there like that. So Victoria on Facebook says, I recently became a certified nutrition counselor and am working on my business plan and website. What's the best way to launch my business, Christy?
The thing that even when you say the word launch, like launch is exciting. You can do build up, you can do a big announcement. But if you are a nutrition counselor, I say just get scrappy and start telling people. Email your family and friends. One of the things that people underestimate, Dave, is just the simple steps of faith. So you can start with your contact list. You may not have a big email list. You can email everyone in your contacts. Say, hey guys, I just want to let you know I'm doing this new thing. Here's my heart behind it. Here's my why. If this would benefit you, or if you know of anyone, I I would love your business. Here's how to contact me. And you just start with who you know. Start with your personal Facebook page until you get your business page up and going. You can get fancy later, but I think just those initial taking some step of action, it's going to build confidence in you and get money in the door faster. That's going to fuel that growth versus waiting until your website's perfect, waiting until you have a huge email list to launch to. You can do that, but man, I think you can make money faster if you just get going.
Yeah, get organic about it and just stick your foot out the door and go.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing that's going to happen. What you think is going to be the thing will almost never be the thing.
Yes.
And so you're going to adjust when you get it. When you put your ideas out in the wild and actually are out there, with the animals doing your thing, then you start to find out that, this doesn't work the way I thought it did.
Yeah.
And when Financial Peace University started, I was in a room with an overhead projector and a bad suit, but it was called Life After Debt. Mm-hmm. And it was a class designed for bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. To help people avoid bankruptcy. So I went through the types of bankruptcy in one lesson. I went through foreclosures and how to avoid them in another lesson. So it was for people right on the edge or completely devastated and broke, like I had been.
Right.
But the weird thing was we kept having none of those people show up to the class. Everybody that came to the class was not broke. They just didn't have any money because it was all going back out the door. But they weren't on the edge of bankruptcy or foreclosure.
Right.
And they just wanted to learn how to handle money. They wanted to learn how to budget. They wanted to learn how to invest. They wanted to learn how to save for emergencies. They wanted to learn how to get their kids' college fund going and that kind of stuff. And so after about 6 months, I went, I got to change this.
Right.
And I wouldn't have ever known that I had to take out the foreclosure lesson and take out the bankruptcy lesson, which is now in our counselor training. We use the same material to teach the counselors how to do it, the coaches how to do it, our financial coach training. But I wouldn't have ever known that had I not just taken that leap of faith and gotten started.
That's right. And I love how you always say business is a conversation with the marketplace. Well, conversations happen two ways. And I think sometimes we think, well, I've got to get it all right, get it all perfect, put it out there, and then the conversation's over. No, a conversation is back and forth. I use the iPhone example. iPhone, we're on 10, 11, 12, whatever it is now. They started with the iPhone 1. They put it out there, and the market says, hey, we like this, but a little more of this. Can you make the camera better? Can you make it slimmer? And then you iterate and improve.
I'll guarantee you when they launched that, they had no idea that the iPhone was going to be the camera of choice for Americans.
Yes. No.
That the camera was going to be the deal.
Right. And the market told them that in that conversation. But then to your point, you go back and iterate and improve and change and take out lessons and add the camera or whatever. And then you put it back out there. You get better and better. But it only happens through the conversation. And a conversation doesn't happen until you put something out there. So I say, start with what you have. Your friends, your family. If you're in a service-based business, like you're saying, Victoria, as a nutrition counselor, then your sweet spot is referrals and word of mouth and people that you already know you, like you, and trust you. So I think start there. But I love that reminder that in order to have a conversation, you have to start talking and be willing to listen to the feedback. That's where your best ideas are going to come from.
Well, and honestly, when you hear me talk about that, sometimes it's around here in a meeting and I'm saying we're having a conversation with the marketplace. The marketplace says you suck.
Right.
And so
on the other side of that.
We blew something up and we screwed it up. And I'm like, guys, your customers all just yelled at you because the sales turned down on this. Yeah. They just yelled at you that this price point is wrong, that this concept is bad, that this product is poorly designed, even though in our best minds in some back conference room or something, and we'd had it all figured out how this was all perfect until we put it out there with the animals, and then the animals went, nope, you
missed the mark,
nope, and you're going to mess up. A prototype never makes it to market ever without adjustments.
Yes.
And so you put the prototype in the hands of the actual user and see what they do with it. Yeah. And, it takes twice as long, costs twice as much, and you're not the exception. These are the 3 rules of business. So get out there and do stuff. Get out there and do stuff. And when in doubt, leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home. But do it in such a way that when it fails or portions of it fail, it doesn't break you.
Right.
But go ahead and start.
Yeah.
Go ahead and start and be emotionally prepared for this conversation with the marketplace. That's beautiful stuff. Yeah. Good stuff, Christy. This is The Ramsey Show. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Matthew and Heidi are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, Dave.
Welcome. Hi. Where do you guys live?
We are from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, very cool. Good to have you. And how much debt have you paid off?
We paid off $34,000 in 18 months.
Way to go.
Great job.
Nice. And your range of income during that time?
We started at around 88,000 and now we're at about 120,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I work for a large medical device company in marketing.
And I'm a hairstylist.
Cool. What kind of debt was your $34,000?
It was student loans and car.
Oh, wow. All right.
Pretty simple.
How long you two been married?
Year and a half.
Oh, so you get married and start this journey. Boom, we're getting out of debt.
Well, for the car, she actually told me before, it was $11,000 on the car, and she told me before we got married, I had to pay off the car before the wedding date, so I had a deadline.
I like it.
Wow. Okay, so wait a minute. You did all this before you got married or after you got married? You've been married 18 months. You said you did this in 18 months.
Yeah, so the car was on me. I did that for for the time being right before we got married. The student loans were once we got married, when we combined the income, we attacked my debt.
Got it. Okay, very cool. Okay, so Heidi, I mean, you threw down.
You're not messing around.
Nope, that was
You're
my
just like,
stipulation. I'm like, get that paid
no
for.
No car debt, no marriage.
Nope.
This is not,
it.
Wow, you're hardcore. What made you do that?
It was money borrowed from his parents, and I just didn't want to have that going into our marriage and that relationship with in-laws. I don't want anything to start off on the wrong foot. And he hadn't been paying on it. It just needed to go. So
Heidi, that's awesome. It's also weird. Like, how'd you learn about money? How'd you become anti-debt? Like, that's awesome and not normal at all. So where does this come
You're
from?
so right and so practical, but there's nothing romantic about this.
We're just
It's like,
confused.
this
We
is
don't know what to do
great.
with you. Yeah.
I love it.
yeah, my parents actually taught FPU for quite a long time. So they taught that to me growing up forever.
Oh, okay.
They always had me sit down and do a budget as soon as I got a job. So I always knew that was not something that I wanted to have.
So you're a financial peace baby then?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
That
All
explains
right.
it now. This makes a lot of sense now.
Dating the parents or dating the daughter of coordinators.
Oh, yeah.
This is a different experience.
You had it cut out for you, Matthew.
That's wow. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, he hadn't been paying on it. This just had to go.
Yeah.
It just had to go.
We're done.
That's
We're
so
done.
great. I love it. So how long into your dating relationship before y'all started talking about money issues?
Oh, that's a good question.
I would say pretty soon. As soon as we started dating, we were open about it. At the time, I was still in high school. He was in college. So we knew whatever we wanted to do, we wanted to be able to pay off as soon as possible. So we were always very open about it.
Okay. All right. But Matthew, you got the idea pretty quick that this was a subject that's going to be important to this woman.
100%. She looks up to you a lot, and her parents taught your class, so she's the accounting, by the books person. I'm the marketing, go with the flow, love talking to people.
Yeah.
And so that was the hardest thing for me, was to stick to the numbers, look in Excel, and look at the numbers and do that every month.
Yeah. Well, you're like me. You think you can out-earn your stupidity. Yeah, I tried to do that for years. Yeah, marketing guys, we're all that way. I mean, I love it.
You can go get
great.
more money. You can go get more money, right?
Yeah, you just
go
get some more money. We
Yeah.
just need to get some more money. That's all we need to do. Yeah. Way to go, you guys. What a great way to start your dating relationship and then your marriage as well.
What was that like for your first year and a half of marriage to work as a team to attack this debt together?
It was really helpful. Every single, right when the month ended, usually it was that Sunday, we went through the books and just sitting down there after church, looking through everything and adding it up. And over time, through our side hustles from delivering food through Uber Eats, her nannying, we just started seeing the numbers go from 2 to 3 to just growing every single month, that we could just continue to throw at the debt.
Wow.
That's
Very
cool.
Very
Brings you
cool.
together as a team. Anytime, but especially early in marriage when you're trying to merge your lives, you got different values, beliefs. Like, what a cool thing to attack together.
Dumb question, but you ever go back into debt?
No.
Not a chance. Not a chance. Way to go, you guys. Very cool. Okay, now, since you grew up with this, in the case of Heidi and Matthew, you've proven now in 18 months that as a brand new married couple, you can knock this debt out. Tell people what the secret to getting out of debt is.
I would say the main thing is don't make excuses for not being able to make more money. We picked up side hustles that we didn't think were going to be super fun, but we found something that we could make more money, and just sticking to it and just grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say just working your butt off. I work, normal 40 hours a week, salary, working from home. During COVID, it was almost a blessing to be able to do Uber Eats, the food deliveries, till 10, 11 o'clock.
You
on
got
the
out of the
weekends.
house, yeah.
I know, yeah, it was the best part. And just being able to do that and grind and tell your friends, nope, can't hang out tonight, I'm delivering food. And it was always a good conversation starter, but it just showed the dedication, and everyone could start to see the example that we were setting. And working with one of my friends, I was actually able to help him, push him to help pay off his car debt.
All right. Very
That's
good.
awesome.
It gets perpetuated here.
Yeah, it's a
Very
ripple
cool.
effect.
Very cool. Yeah, hustle, grind, hard work. There's no substitute for that. So you did several different things. What was your best paying side hustle?
Uber Eats.
Definitely. Okay.
Oh yeah, every single weekend.
How much did you make, and how much did you work?
So we started
In a month. In a month, how many hours did you work, or a week, how many did you make?
Weeks, it would probably be almost 2 to 3 hours a night most times, 5 hours on a weekend. But
So 20 hours a week.
Yep, in 6 months we made $22K.
Okay. All right. Wow. Very, very good. It's like $3,000 a month.
It was very, very helpful.
Yeah, working 20 hours a week. Yeah, that's pretty strong.
That's
That's
awesome.
more than some people make at their job.
Yeah.
I mean, dadgum. Good. Way to go, you guys. You're awesome, man. This is so cool. So I'm sure mom and dad are cheering you along when this is happening,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Anybody tell you were crazy?
Y'all are young. Are your friends like you, where they're paying off their debt, or were y'all super
Maybe
weird?
not as extreme.
Okay.
They gave us a little grief, but they were always encouraging too.
And everyone with the 0% student loans right now, everyone's just letting them sit, not touching them. We're like, let's just go after it,
Yes.
get them out of the picture so we can save for our house and just be debt free for the mortgage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good for you.
You
Good
guys
for
are
you.
so fun. Hard work, pay off my debt, start my life off right. There's
What a
hope.
concept.
There's hope, America. There are people like them out there. There's hope. How old are you guys?
I am 25.
I'm 23.
That's amazing.
I love it. I love it. And some of you 63-year-olds need to listen to that 23-year-old. Oh, my God. This is awesome. Very well done. Well, we got a copy of Legacy Journey for you, because there's no doubt you are going to leave a legacy. Your mom and dad already have, Heidi, and you guys are setting up your own now. It's very, very powerful. And another copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give away to one of your friends. Get them moving. That's good stuff. You can pay it forward a little bit. Well done. All right, Heidi and Matthew. Wow. From Grand Rapids, Michigan. What heroes. $34,000 paid off in 18 months, making 88 to 120. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt free!
I love it. Woo-hoo-hoo. Wow. Now, Grand Rapids, Michigan might have, that community, I love Grand Rapids. We've been going up there and doing events for years.
Yeah, we've done a ton there.
Hard working.
Yes.
They believe in hard
Yes.
work.
Yes.
I've just never met a lazy person in Grand Rapids. There may be one or two up there, but I've never met them. There's just something about the whole Dutch Reform movement, the background of that city and the way people think there. Hard work is the answer to everything. I love it. I
That's
love it. I
awesome.
love it. I love it. Yes, you can do this. No, you are not a victim. No, you are not entitled. You need to be Matthew and Heidi. You can do this. I love it. This is The Ramsey Show. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jared is with us in Sacramento. Hi, Jared. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Christy. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So basically, I was wondering if I could get a little bit more info. I've completed step 1 through 4. I have my as a 6-month emergency fund. I've been starting to invest around 15%, and I have no debt. But I also don't have a house, and I've already completed the college that I'm looking to complete. So I'm kind of looking for a next step here, if that makes any sense, because I don't necessarily think I'm going to be buying a house anytime soon.
I would pile up cash for that purpose beyond the 15%.
Okay.
15% of your income into retirement. And then we're heading on to baby step 6, which is pay off your house. And in your case, you're not ready to buy yet, so you're just piling up cash. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Good.
Okay, Jared. First of all, great job.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What's your degree in?
Thank you. So I have an AA in communications, and I'm not necessarily looking to get my bachelor's quite yet, but I just got that finished up about a month ago.
Cool. So what are you doing, and what do you make?
So I make $50,000 after tax right now, and I live off of about $1,200. So roughly, I'm putting about $2,800 into savings every month. So that's exceeding the 15%. So right now I have $10,000 for an emergency fund, $20,000 liquid, and $5,000 in stock. So I've kind of just been working on towards growing the money, but I didn't really kind of know where to.
Phenomenal. Well, what I would be
here,
doing is putting 15% into retirement plans. Do you have a 401k at work? Is that what you're using?
I don't. My work doesn't have a 401k. I'm just.
Okay. Are you using a Roth IRA?
I am. Yeah. I have done my full amount for the year.
Okay. All right. So you're maxing that out. And then beyond that, what you're saving is for a future house purchase. If you think it's going to be 5 years, 3 to 5 years, then, you could use an index fund, just an S&P 500, no commission, no load fund, just to throw some money in. It'll grow at whatever the market does. Since you're playing some stocks and stuff, that might be a better route than playing those stocks. And it might be a better route than just a simple savings account. But if you're going to buy fairly soon, 3 years or less, then I really wouldn't do that. I'd just pile it into a savings account. But it sounds like you're just kind of, you're just a guy who lives frugally.
Yeah, and doing awesome, especially for that young. The other thing, Jared, about a house purchase that is so great, if you start early, then it's less stressful and you could put more down. So you're just in a better financial position whenever you do decide to buy a house. You've got more options. You've got more that you're putting into it. So starting now is not a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you do $30,000 a year for 3 years, that's you're going to be bumping up to $100,000 and if you did it for 6 years, you could probably pay cash for something.
Yeah.
You know, and just depends on what you want to do here. That's not a bad play at all. Great job.
Yeah.
Great job. Lori is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Lori. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Dave.
Good. How can I help?
Okay, I'm 36, single mother of 3, no village, completely on my own. In the past 9 months, I've paid off $17,000, a little over, in debt using taxes and stimulus, I relocated here from Alabama just to get out of the situation that I was in. And I'm kind of stuck now, so I'm kind of needing guidance on where to go.
What do you mean you're stuck?
I have a house, but I have a mortgage. So in Alabama, I have a house. I have had it since I was 19. I purchased it when I was 23, and it has a leaky roof. The roof is only 7 years old. It's due to installation error. I've had 3 contractors come out and say the same thing. So I'm kind of like, here I live paycheck to paycheck, just like I did there.
What's the house worth?
About 30. I'm going to say about 80. It's actually about to be appraised. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm trying to get it refinanced to get that leak fixed, to get the roof done.
No, just sell it.
That's my question. Well, I don't want to sell. I knew you were going to say that. My child doesn't want to sell. It's also my safety net if something happens here. I mean, I am here renting.
It's not a safety net. It's got a leaking roof, and it's in Alabama.
Yeah. Well, I don't plan on staying in North Carolina forever. I guess I'm just keeping it because
when you go back, you can buy something then.
Safe.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
That's an illusion, honey. It's not a safety net. It's a problem.
It's a headache.
Yeah.
Even if you go back to Alabama, who knows what you're going to do?
What do
don't know
you
you're gonna do
owe
or
on
when.
it?
I owe $49.
Okay, well, let me tell you what a safety net is. $30,000 cash in the bank and no hassles.
And then in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, you want to go back to Alabama and do something. Then you're not going to want to go back to that house anyway necessarily. You're going to have a different plan at that time.
Okay.
I think you're holding on to something. Holding on. There's something in your head that you're holding on.
So
you connect that to something else.
This was the first success you had after a bunch of failures. Buying this house was like a triumph.
It's all I've ever known.
Yeah. I mean, but it was your first big win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and turning loose of it feels like you're not going to be winning anymore because it was your first big win. But my point is, it was your first, not your last. Mm-hmm. And whether you own a home somewhere in the past is an indicator of winning, but now it's not. Now it's a problem. It's causing you headaches, and you can do whatever you want to do, kiddo, but you call me. And you're going to get you're going to get my opinion when you call here. That's why we call it the Ramsey Show. So if you're my little sister, and you are, I would tell you it's a stupid house. Get rid of it. And, you don't need it. It represents something emotionally that would be good for you to figure out how that is, because you can hear it in her voice.
Yeah, and even just the language of like, I'm kind of stuck, or here's the problems, I got rid of this. But I think that if you ask yourself the most basic question, the benefit and the cost, what are you getting from that house right now? Nothing but headaches.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything for you other than this attachment you have to the past. But you could have $30,000 in your bank account, which would give you a actual cushion with options. And then in the future, you decide what you want to do then, wherever you want to be, Alabama or anywhere. And you do that at that time.
Lori, the irony is your safety net leaks.
Oh, you are so ready for that. I can see it. You had a twinkle in your eye. You were getting excited about that one.
Oh, your safety net leaks. Yeah, that's a problem right there. So, and you left Alabama. You told us, but you didn't tell us. There was crap going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to get away from there.
I think she'll feel free if she sells it. I think she'll feel, she doesn't imagine that, but I think she will feel free after the fact. She has the cash in the bank, and then we're going to close the door on that headache and that season of life in a very positive way.
There's the reason the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. You need to look forward more than you look backward. And this is going to be good for you. You have placed emotional value of some kind on this house that it doesn't deserve, that it's not worthy of.
Yeah.
Your secret sauce, Lori, is not this house, it's you. Put the money in your pocket and sell the stupid Alabama house. It's a stupid house and the roof leaks. Get rid of it. That's what I would do. You can do whatever you want to do and we'll still be friends. But that's what I would tell you to do. So, and I just did. It is so... I mean, you were raised by a single mom. Single moms are warrior princesses, man.
Yes.
I mean, they fight, scratch,
Fighters.
claw, and to finally get that accomplishment. I got to buy a house.
Right.
That's what I've kind of felt like that was.
That's right. That's right. And I think it represents, too, this source of stability of like, I own this and I don't own something here. So that's why even the word safety net, it's like, it feels like that feels more stable because I own it, but it's a source of problems. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, this is a new season and it's time to reevaluate what's right for us right now. That may have been right then, but what it is now is a headache. When things, I tell people all the time, when things change, things need to change. So things changed.
Ooh.
It's time to change.
That was deep.
Thank you. Stitch that on a pillow.
Stitch that and put it in a frame in the kitchen. When things change, things need to change.
I mean, it's true.
This is why we get the big bucks right here. I love it. Christy Wright, my co-host this day here on The Ramsey Show. James Childs is our producer. Kelly Daniels, our associate producer and phone screener. I am Dave Ramsey, your host, and we will be back.
Hey guys, this is James, senior producer for The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? And a lot of those people listen on one of our 600 plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, head to theramseyshow.com.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us. Christy Wright, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book Business Boutique, is my co-host today as we take your questions about your life and about your money. We are open for business at Ramsey. We're here. And we're going to be there, too.
And we're not going to, yes.
And we're getting, I'm so excited to get back out on the road. We're launching Christy's Business Boutique event, which happens every fall here in Nashville. It goes on sale today.
October 14th through the 16th. Mark your calendar. Go ahead and get your tickets. It does sell out every single year. But here's the great news. You can join us here in Nashville in room, which I highly recommend because the energy in that room is unlike anything else that we do. A room full of 3,000 women. We are excited. We are chasing our dreams together. And then we're also going to do a live stream option, so you can join us either way. But we are going to have another incredible lineup of rock star speakers. We love giving you experts on the topics that you need help with the most. So sales, money management, marketing, social media. We want to give you everything you need to start or grow your business. So whether it's a side business, a small business, it's just you as a solopreneur or freelance worker, a home-based business, whatever that looks like for you, we want to give you the information and the inspiration that you need to win. And Dave, you've spoken at this several years. This is one of those things that what happens in the room, what happens throughout those 3 days is more than just people getting the tactics and the plan. We give them that, but there's something that shifts in their belief about themselves. And I think that might be the most powerful part of it.
Hope deferred makes the heart sick. But when desire comes, it is the tree of life. When you see people come in questioning their hope.
Yep.
And the question gets answered.
Yes.
It gets confirmed on these ladies that where they're going. It's equipping women to make money doing what they love. The Business Boutique event, October 14th through 16. Christy Wright, Anthony O'Neill, me. Jasmine Starr is a force of nature.
Yeah, she's spoken before.
She's
amazing.
incredible. Nona Jones, Bianca Olthoff.
Yep.
Olthoff. What does Bianca do?
She's a faith-based speaker. So in the Bible world, we love to have some sessions on faith and inspiration, and she's a brilliant Bible teacher. And so we love to wrap up Friday with that, and we're so excited.
Good.
We haven't had her before. Nona Jones is, she really leads the whole church division of Facebook. She created it. And so she knows Facebook really well, knows social media. And then Jasmine Starr, she spoke, I think it was 2 years ago, but she brought the house down, and she's an expert on social media as well. And then, of course, we'll be hitting all those other topics between you, me, Anthony, and our other speakers. So it's a very well-rounded event.
3 days, and it's only $119. Come to Nashville, make it a getaway, make it a retreat for you.
Yep.
If you can't do that and you have to do live stream, it's $89 to do that. Text boutique to 33789. The other big event, boutique, to 33789. The other big event is next week. We're going to be May 16 through 19. The Entree Leadership Summit is sold out. But you can watch it as a live stream, and you're going to want to because George W. Bush will be with us.
Yes.
That's going to be incredible. Jocko Willink, a retired U.S. Navy SEAL officer, will be with us. Incredible speaker, teacher on leadership. John Maxwell, one of the best-known leadership speakers, teachers, authors in America today. Craig Groeschel, founder and pastor of Life.Church, one of America's largest churches and a world-class leader in his own right. All of these guys are good friends. They're all the people that I listen to, the people I listen to their podcasts, I read their books. Patrick Lencioni, we've been friends for years. This guy, the Ideal Team Player, is a game changer. The Advantage is a game changer. His new book, The Motive, is a game changer. Marcus Buckingham, Strength Finders, is a game changer. Dr. Adrienne Sternberg spoke here the other day at our offices and brought the house down. She's a leadership expert and speaker. Be with us. Our Ramsey personalities. Me, of course, Ken Coleman. Christy will be doing a session. Dr. John Deloney will be doing a session. It is going to be sold out. It is sold out. It's going to be a blown-up deal. I've got a room reserved here. We've got 200, our 200 top leaders in our company are going to be spending all 3 days watching the live stream.
Yeah.
And if you want to get the live stream for your team to watch, you can do that. It's $1,350, and you can register. Text Summit to 44222. This is one of the top 3 to 5, maybe the top experiential leadership events in the nation today. It is unbelievably powerful.
Incredible way to invest in your team.
Yeah.
You know, if you live stream this for your whole team, what we've seen in years past when business leaders and business owners do this is this event becomes a catalyst for transformative conversations. You begin to have different dialogue based on the sessions and what you learn, and it can really change your business because you all watch it and you're playing from the same playbook from the best of the best together. So it's so powerful to see the whole team get on the same page this way.
Well, it's what happens to us. It happens to us, and we put on the event. But I mean, we get Pat Lencioni's Ideal Team Player, that construct on hiring the right kind of people.
Yep.
You know, hungry, humble, and smart. And Pat and I have talked about it here on the air, and it's, you know, it just became part of the dialogue inside Ramsey after that.
Yes,
on
it's
how to
integrated
lead
into what we do.
Yeah, how to lead and how to properly run, how to build culture inside your organization. I'm just finishing up Jocko's new book, and Jocko's, man, he's on fire right now. His step-by-step cookies on a shelf where everybody can reach them leadership ideas are just like, I get it.
Yeah.
And it becomes part of your vernacular because you learn it, you adopt it, and before you know it, you forgot where you got it, but it just becomes part of who you are.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do with you here. And George W. was with us in Dallas a couple of years ago when we did this event. I did the interview. Ken Coleman will be doing the interview this year because it's bucket list for him, and I couldn't take it away from him. Yeah. So I've already done one, so he gets to do this one. But President Bush is in a setting like that, it will blow your mind.
Yeah.
It will blow your mind. So be sure you check it out. You can text the word Summit to 44222 if you want to participate in this live stream May 16 through 19 for your company, for your leadership team. Summit to 44222. And of course, if you want to come to Nashville, ladies, and be part of the Business Boutique, you text the word boutique, the conference, Business Boutique Conference. You text the word boutique to 33789. 33789. So, and of course, you can just go to RamseySolutions.com and click on shows, and it'll drop down. It'll have the Business Boutique page on there. It'll have the Entre Leadership Summit page on there. The Master Series for Entre Leadership will be next fall. It's on there. Any of the events we're doing are always on there and available under the shows tab at RamseySolutions.com. Because when we do these things, we go big. We have a blast. And I got to tell y'all, after 2020, we're ready to get back on some stages. We are ready to get back out there with you guys. We miss you guys, and we're excited to do this. This is The Ramsey Show.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
Thank you for joining us, America. This is The Ramsey Show. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Sherry's in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Hi, Sherry. How are you?
Hi there, Dave. Christy, thank you so much for taking my phone call. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Yes, I was calling because my husband and I, we make $152,000 a year. We're in baby step 2, so we have $13,000 left for a car note, and then I have a $42,000 IRS bill that I pay $532 a month towards. For 2020, we did our taxes, and I got another $16,000 added to that bill. But I did take the reset. I attended that, and you said to identify the big bad wolf. And for me, that was the IRS, so I did start this year the estimated tax payments to them, so I won't have that issue anymore after 2020.
So you have $100,000 in IRS debt?
No. It is...
42 plus 60?
42 plus 16, 16.
Oh, 16. Okay,
Yes.
I feel a little better. I still can't breathe, but I feel better. Okay.
Yes, okay, yeah. When
So
you said
58
60,
on the
I kinda
IRS
lost
and
my
13
breath.
on a car. All right, I'm with you.
Okay, and I have $7,000 in the emergency fund, which I know it should only be $1,000. So the reason why we have that is because we're down to one car, but I've been able to work with that because I see my clients tele or Zoom, and if I need to see them when I have the car Thursdays and Fridays, I'll use the car. So that's $6,000 extra. I want to know, should I leave it there, or should I put it towards that $13,000 to bring it down to $7,000, which is a number I like a lot better, or should I put it towards that new $16,000 IRS bill to bring that down to $10,000? Because I wasn't sure if the IRS bill should be in a category by itself in the sense of urgency to get rid of it.
When was the 16? When is it due? Is it from the filing you're getting ready to do? From 2020?
Yeah, because I filed, and I owe $16,000 for 2020.
You've already filed?
Yes.
Before you had to?
Yes, because I knew I was going to owe because my husband, when we looked at his W-2, they only took out $380 for the whole year, so we knew we were going to be kind of messed up. So I wanted to see how messed up I was going to be and start planning to pay
Yeah, you
them.
could have done it all and not filed it, though. Because you made the taxes due when you filed it. They weren't due until, it'd be next week anyway. But, jeez. Well, your penalties and interest on that 16 are going to be mammoth. I generally put the IRS at the top of the list. In this case, I'd put the 16 IRS at the top of your debt snowball, and I would attack it with a vengeance. And let's get rid of it before it starts getting... If you can get that cleared up within 90 days, and you should be able to by putting this 6 towards it or 7 towards it, then you get that out of your life. Then we'll go and knock out the car. Then we'll go and knock out the last IRS one because you've got it on a payment plan. But you're getting hammered by these people with penalties and with taxes. So we generally put the IRS at the top. In this case, I would put the 16 at the top because, as you said, the urgency.
Yes. Okay. I will do that.
Now, you have
right
corrected
now.
all of this. There's no more tax problems.
No, I spoke with my tax guy, and he told me exactly how much I need to be putting away, towards them. I did my first one in April, so they got paid. I did my state and my city all the time, estimated. They were small, but I don't know. That one scripture, I love the scriptures, but when it said give Caesar what due Caesar, I felt they were getting too much, but then I don't want to have to pay at the end of the year, it was like I'm doing now, so...
Well, you don't want to be penalized. You're going to be penalized if you don't pay the proper amount of, and you're going to get hit with interest on these as well when you don't pay the proper amount of quarterly estimates, and you haven't been doing it for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're paying, this is not about, this is more like, if you want a scripture, be diligent to know the state of your flocks and herds, which means get your act together.
I like it.
That means get your act together. You need to start paying the proper taxes at the proper time. No more, but no less.
Yes.
That would be your scripture to lean on.
How does the payment plan work, Dave? Like for the 40, for example, you said there's interest on that.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if someone gets on a payment plan because they don't have the taxes, the amount that's due, they can get on payment plan, but there's going to be fees.
Yeah, there's going to be penalties and interest, and that 42 is just horrendous. I mean, it's horrible. Yeah. If you could get a credit card and pay it off on a credit card, you'd be better off.
Really? Wow.
It's that bad.
Wow.
And you don't want the IRS, the KGB in your life.
Right.
Right. They just have unlimited power, man, to screw you up. And so, yeah, you really can't, you're not going to have peace in your finances as long as you're monkeying with those people.
Yeah.
So not only getting rid of the debt, but also getting the right amount of taxes done at the right time in the right way, and not depending on them to be competent or kind, because they generally are neither. And I mean, there's people that work there that are occasionally, but in general, the agency is not. It is not their purpose in life to minister to your little heart. So our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means even if you mismeasure, you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your window blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Jennifer in Pennsylvania. I have a side hustle and charge a fair price for my product. Some of my customers are not financially secure, and I feel bad taking their money. If I lower my prices, it wouldn't be worth my time to do it. How can I stop feeling guilty for selling to them? So this is an interesting question. I hear that same phrasing, Dave, when I hear people talking about any type of sales. They say, well, I don't want to take people's money. Well, first of all, you're not taking people's money. They're giving it to you because of the value of the product or service you provide. But the other thing I would add to this is, if you're getting the wrong customer, you might need to look at your branding and your marketing to get a customer that can afford what you're doing, because you can't do it at a lower price. You're already charging a fair price. Maybe there's something mixed up in your messaging that you are attracting customers that cannot pay what you're charging, and they're not a good fit for you then. So you change your messaging to get a different customer that can afford the price that you're charging, which is fair to you. What we tell people all the time, Dave, is the price that you charge should be fair to you as a business owner and fair to the customer. It needs to be fair both ways. But this idea that you're responsible for their money management, you're not. But you may want to look at your marketing if you're getting a lot of pushback that, these are not the right customers. There's a not a right fit. What would you add?
Yeah.
Or what are you reading into that?
I can't tell all that's going on here. Honestly, I'm just sitting here. But, some of my customers are not financially secure, and I feel bad taking their money. The grocery store where they buy food does not feel bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Taking their money for the food. And they didn't rip them off. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're ripping them off,
yes,
that's another thing.
Right.
Okay, you're not oppressing the poor. I mean, if you're a payday lender, you're screwing the poor.
Right.
Okay, that's not good. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible business. If that's what you're doing, then don't do that. But don't overcharge them. Right. Don't oppress the poor. If somebody's not, I don't know what you mean by not financially secure. Most Americans aren't financially secure. So just about everybody.
Yeah.
And so. I own a pizza place. I don't. But, I mean, if you own a pizza place and you only sell to financially secure people, you may not sell many pizzas.
Right, right.
So, it's not your job to be their mommy and their daddy and their nanny.
That's right.
And so your job is to sell pizzas.
Right.
And your job is to sell groceries and whatever it is you do. But, again, now, the other thing you can do is out of your profits, when you set your price at a good, fair price, you can turn back around and say, I'm going to donate a certain percentage of our goods or our services to someone that is truly in need.
Right.
And that generous heart is fine, but to adopt your whole business or to build your whole business model around other people's decisions, you can't do that. It's impossible to anticipate that.
Yeah, you're not responsible for it.
This is The Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Matt is with us in Chicago. Hey, Matt, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you having me on. I'm able to ask these questions in part thanks to you, so I appreciate it.
Sure. How can we help?
Yeah. So to give you some context, I'm 2 years out of college, and I finally snowballed all my debt away, as of the last 6 months.
Way to go, dude. How much did you pay off?
Thank you. About $35,000, and 20 of that was my student loans, the other half of my college. My parents, picked up the buck on the first half, and the rest of it was just between, moving expenses and paying off some car repairs and things like that.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Well done. So where's that bring us to today? How can we help?
Yeah. So, today, for me, it was always, discipline equals freedom. I learned that from this great book I read, and that's what got me to this point. And now that I have, no debts, now that I have that freedom, I'm looking at all the goals I want, the ring that, my girlfriend, soon to be, wife in the next couple of years deserves, and, a new car on the horizon, and, a house, down the road, being able to have money, to share in my marriage, to, put on the table and contribute to that. And it's crazy because, I almost feel like with the debt, it was easier because you could see it. And, I climbed the mountain, and I feel like a buffoon because there's just another huge mountain in front of me. And I don't know how to manage my money for myself instead of managing it for my debt now. And I'm really just kind of lost. And I don't know how I start managing that money for myself with these kind of invisible goals.
Well, they're not invisible. They're very tangible.
This mountain is too big.
They're not. Whoa. You're acting like it's unattainable or something, or it's too invisible. They're not invisible. They're right in front of you. It's a ring.
They're just not holding you hostage like the debt was.
Yeah, that's the only difference. Nobody got a gun to your head anymore. Christy's right. So yeah, you're going to prioritize house, ring, car. In what order are we going to do this? And what are we going to spend on each? And put a dollar amount beside it, just as if you were paying off a debt. And then you just build up that savings and knock out that item. Build up that savings, knock out that item. Build up that savings, knock out that item. While you're working the baby steps, which you're at baby step 4, you're putting 15% of your income into retirement, and you have your emergency fund in place. And so, if you got a timeline on this ring or a timeline on this car, I'm guessing one of those two is the first of the 3. And the other one is the second of the 3, and the house is the last one. And you're not in that big a hurry on the house, but everything above 15% we can find in the budget. We just pile in there, and you don't have to be as intense as you are getting out of debt, but you do need to be intentional. And you also need to budget some money to enjoy your life while you're at these stages, and generosity.
It's interesting because I think when you're in debt, the debtors are, all the people that have your debts are telling you when to pay, where to pay, and what the amount's going to be, right? Like they hold you hostage. They tell you all the rules. You have to play by their rules. Well, to Matt's point, now he's free. and he has these goals, and he gets to decide the amount and the timeline. And that's exciting, but it can also be intimidating. So, Dave, I'm curious, when it comes to buying a ring, buying a car, do you have guidelines on like percentage of income or a certain amount or that type of thing in terms of to give Matt some guidance of like, here's what I would recommend, or is it just kind of whatever, he could obviously cash flow and what he's comfortable with?
Number one, where we pay cash, or we don't do it.
Right.
On a ring, one time your salary, 1 month's of salary is plenty. 1 month of income is plenty. That's plenty big enough for a ring. There is no correlation statistically in any piece of research between the size of the ring and the quality of the marriage. As a matter of fact, at a certain point, the size of the ring might have an inverse correlation.
The opposite.
So, but we got married on a .23. It's in the safe now. She's got a headlight on her hands now. But we got married on a .23 carat. I mean, it's a tiny little speck of a diamond. $1,166 and big dollars. And that's a lot of money back then. And I probably paid too much for it. But anyway, I did. And so you can do whatever you want to do there, but that's a good guideline. And as we all know on the show, we talk about don't buy cars that are worth more than half your annual income. Things with motors, wheels, and whatever that goes zoom zoom, you just not more than half your annual income tied up because they go down in value. And don't get caught up in a ring or diamonds or investments. They're not. I bought a bunch of them from Miss Sharon over the years, and they just don't go up in value. It's just a bunch of crap. The only thing I bought them for is for her. They're not investments. It's not like Dave's getting rich on diamonds. Not even close. Quite the opposite, as a matter of fact. So not the deal. So yeah, and certainly on a house, the more you can save, the better.
Yeah.
Because the quicker we get it paid off.
Yeah. It's an interesting question though, because it's like, oh man, I'm so used to following everybody else's rules. Now I get to make my own rules, set my amount, my timeline, my goals.
This is where the budget comes into play, because you budget for entertainment, you budget for fun, you budget for generosity, and you budget for savings towards these individual goals.
Yeah.
And so you still have a game plan.
Yeah.
And, we used to laugh and say, we're planning our impulses.
Yeah.
Because we're going to set some money aside for random acts of generosity and just catch somebody and, buy their coffee, buy their groceries, pay their meal, whatever. Just do something. Just have some pocket money for that. And so budget for that. Put that stuff in there.
Yeah, that's the discipline he was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like that, the budget is the discipline that gives you the freedom to spend what you want to spend where you want to spend it. It really is.
And it's not like some kind of constrictive discipline, because you get to set the rules.
Yeah.
You get to decide how much you're going to put in generosity, how much you're going to save towards the ring. You get to decide this. So it's not the difference is you're not being held hostage, like you said, by the debt.
Right.
Garland is in Baltimore. Hi, Garland. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. Hi, Christy.
Hi.
You're one of my faves because I'm a woman business owner.
Awesome.
I live in a different world than my brother. My father died in January due to COVID.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was 97, so he had a long, wonderful life.
Wow.
My question is, he left me an inheritance, and I'm living on disability right now. And just got approved. I've been living on basically nothing for the last 2 years because, I was waiting on the disability and that whole process. My question is, he told me that I should put my money, my inheritance, into a investment and receive a monthly stipend and get a mortgage because the mortgage rates are so low. And I already know what you're going to say, probably.
How much is your inheritance?
It's $200,000.
How old are you?
I am 56.
What's the nature of your disability?
It's both mental and physical. I have fibromyalgia and PTSD and major depressive disorder.
I'm sorry.
So I have good days and I have not so good days.
Yeah.
So I can do like some things at home. I do hand spun wool. I make sweaters, hats.
So $200,000 invested at 10% is $20,000 a year. It's $1,600 a month.
Right.
And you're not buying a house. You're not buying a house in Baltimore on that.
No. I live in the country. Really, that's the closest city.
Oh, okay.
Down on the Delmarva Peninsula.
I mean, if you can get a very inexpensive home, you can pull that off. But this nest egg, you cannot take anything off of the $200,000 unless it earns it.
Right.
And I don't think
so
you're going to. I don't think you're going to qualify for a mortgage.
Right. So my whole thing was I'm debt free. I know how to live on a
How
budget.
cheap a house could you buy?
I was thinking about getting some land and putting like one of those barn dominiums on it.
No, I don't think you need to build anything. You're disabled and got all these other things going on. You need to just buy something. If you're going to buy something, if you could buy something for $100, pay cash, put the other $100 in investments. If you can pull that off, that's what I would look at doing. Wow. You got a lot going on, kiddo. Hope that gives you a start. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Mary's in Chattanooga. Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hi, Dave and Christy. I'm a nervous wreck. How are you?
Oh, I'm glad you're here. You're okay.
No trouble. We've never lost a patient. You'll be okay.
I love it when you say that. I was a binge watch podcast there's actually an app called Podcast Addict, which is a reason it's called Podcast Addict because it's quite addictive.
Well, thank you. How can we help today, hon?
Well, crisis mode. I guess we call that storm mode. And just got my credit report, and it's 30 years of wreckage. Student loans, credit cards, et cetera, to the tune of about $42,000. And $42,000 to me is like a bazillion grand right now because I'm in a budget where I'm like in a budget freeze, if you will. Just there's not enough money to go around at all.
Mm. What do you make?
Well, I'm on disability. I get $794 a month to cover everything. My rent takes $620, so the math is not good right now. Right now, it's not good.
So I'm sorry. You have how much coming in on disability?
$794 a month, about $9,000 a year, $8,000 to $9,000 a year.
Yeah.
And rent right now where I'm paying is $620 a month, which is about $6,000 plus a year.
So how are you eating?
How are you living on that?
Well, praying a lot and minimalizing very much, and shopping in my pantry when I have one. Food banks once a month. We get a food bank delivery once a month. I don't have transportation and job. I'm trying to address what I can. I'm just trying to figure this whole, how do I get a job? How do I get on my feet? How do I get myself? This book I got this book and read The Total Money Maker over an 8 hour straight with potty breaks ensued. And, got my sense of humor still, but I'm just really stressed out. This has separated my marriage. It's just been a disaster. This past 12 months I've lost 4 relatives, a friend, and my spouse is separated from me right now. So it's not a good year.
I'm sorry.
That was COVID never even came on the radar. I was done with everything else and trying to do this. So
how old are you?
Yeah, 51.
What's the nature of your disability?
Mental and physical. PTSD, chronic back pain. So I'm trying to find something I can do, cope with, and survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's the when did you hurt your back?
Well, I've got 4 grown kids. I've had a set of twins. I did a lot of inappropriate, I guess we call posture issues with lifting and bending. I've been a factory worker. I've just done everything from retail to fast food to just worked really hard.
Understand.
Within the last 4 years, in 2016, I went into treatment. I've had 4 years clean and sober now, so that's changed my life. And apparently, my wake-up call to my budget.
Well, congratulations.
My budget was out of shape too.
Hey, wait a minute. Stop a minute. You've been dry how long?
8/29/16.
Way to go. I'm proud of you. That's a big deal.
It was that story in the big book, page 289, Fear of Fear, when I thought it was my husband who was an alcoholic. No, it was me. And that was the thing I never wanted to be because I grew up around that all over the place. It's all over my family.
I'm proud of you. So that's a win. Let's mark that down in the win column, because you got a bunch of stuff in the lose column right now. We need a few things in the win column.
That was all my higher power. I had very little to do with it, except for I celebrate the birthdays. Kind of like being born. I didn't create myself, but I'm celebrating.
So
I
here's what
Thank you.
Here's what you got to do. You need to start laying out small goals, very, very small goals that you can do, like the 1 day at a time idea, okay? And we're going to just do that with the money side of things and with the career side of things. So what we've got to do is we have to move you towards an income. So we're going to send you a copy of Christy's book, Business Boutique, because I think that probably the best way to work around a bad back and all the things you've had coming at you is to come up with an idea that you do as a small business that you can do with these limitations. But a lot of people, their very limitations lead them to their best career ever.
Yes. Yeah. And let's, while we're at it, Dave, let's send her a live stream ticket to Business Boutique. I think that might just be the injection of hope that she needs right now in this season of life.
Yeah, it'll come up in October and you'll be able to watch that. We can do both of those things. And then, Mary, the other thing I want you to do is it just listening to your voice and all the things that have come at you in the last couple of years while you've remained sober. Congratulations again.
Yes.
But, I mean, you've got a marriage issue. You've lost family and friends. You've definitely got an income issue. You're definitely struggling on the whole money piece. But there's not a magic pill for a $700 income. So we've got to do something that changes that for you to have a prosperous future. And because a $620 rent is not out of line until you tell me you only have $700 coming in. So we've got to buy lights and food and water, and we take care of food and lights and water before we take care of anything else, and rent before we take care of anything else. So I think you're going to need more community in your life than you have had, and a higher quality community. And if you haven't searched out and plugged into a good church in your area, I think a great church in your area would consider it an honor to walk alongside you and help you with some of these transitions and some of these things that you've got to get started. But you got to have somebody with their arm around you a little bit saying you can do it on a daily basis. And I'm not going to be able to do that every day from the radio other than just continue to put the podcast out. But you're going to have to change something that creates an income. And in order to do that, you're going to have healed more from a lot of these blows you've taken, and you've taken some serious blows. So, and it is normal to be hurting when you go through all the things you've been through.
Yeah. The other thing I would say, Dave, is as she does this, as she starts to create more income, I believe it's going to inject hope and confidence into how she approaches everything. Because you could just hear it in her voice. She's just down. She's just down and discouraged and defeated, and this is wrong and this is wrong. I mean, she just breezed past being sober that long. And so just continue to build on the wins, add to the wins column. I love the way, even the visual of that. And then when you start getting some income, whatever that is, whether it's a home, a work from home situation, a part-time job, a side business from home, whatever that looks like for you, I think that's going to do a world, not only for your finances, but for your confidence. Like, okay, I can do this. I can get myself back. I can get my life back. I can get it together. And that's really going to help how you give you the momentum to attack the next goal, the next step, the next thing, and propel you forward.
Yeah, I've got several friends. I've got two good friends that have unbelievably painful, chronic back pain. 24/7 they hurt. 24/7. And it's very real. But even they find something they can do through the fog of the pain. And, we had a young couple on here earlier that was making $3,000 a month doing Uber Eats, 20 hours a week.
Right.
And so just get in the car and go deliver food.
Right.
I mean, it's not a big mental strain. But $3,000 to change your freaking world, girl.
Right.
It change your world. And so that's the kind of stuff I want you to be thinking about. Anything like that to just get your backed up against the wall and get yourself away from that wall a little bit. Get the wolf pushed back. And so we'll send you Christy's book. I'm also going to send you her devotional, 40 Days Back to You. And because as you said, your higher power, God carried you through this process on being sober, and that's just so vital. So, and honey, you call us back if you need help as you go through this. But you've got it. What your biggest crisis is your income crisis, and all of the blows that you've taken are affecting your ability, because you're human, you're hurting, to see your potential income out there. Mm-hmm. And it's not Pollyanna, but and in the meantime, get some community around you. Get a church to help you. They'll help you. There's great churches in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lots of great churches. So you hold on. Kelly will pick up, and we'll send you the devotional and the Business Boutique book and a ticket to the live stream as well. But that's not till October, so she's got to do something before October for sure. So good question, Mary. Thank you for calling, honey. And you call again if you need some help. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Christy Wright, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book Business Boutique, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. We have launched Christy's Business Boutique event for the fall. Goes on sale today. It will be October 14th to the 16th. The Business Boutique Conference is always a sellout. Nashville is a hot destination, and certainly this event has always brought out the ladies. Business Boutique, equipping women to make money doing what they love. October 14th through the 16th.
Yes, this is in Nashville, and we're going to have amazing speakers. You're speaking, I'm speaking. Anthony O'Neill, it's his first time with us, which we're so excited about. Jasmine Starr, who's a social media expert. Nona Jones, also social media and marketing. Bianca Olthoff, and she is an awesome faith-based speaker. And we're going to have some more as well, but we're going to cover all of the topics that you need help with to start or grow your side or small business. You can join us in person or on the live stream. To get your tickets for in-room with us in person in Nashville, it's $119. The live stream is $89, but you can text boutique to 33789 to learn more. And it's going to be fun. Every single year we try to raise the bar, Dave, and this year's no exception.
There you go. Very well done. Good stuff. Good stuff. Also, next week, May 16th through the 19th, we will be doing our EntreLeadership Summit in Dallas. It is completely sold out, and there is a reason. It is one of the top leadership events in the nation today. George W. Bush will be joining us this year. Jocko Willink, retired U.S. Navy SEAL officer, best-selling author, joining us. John Maxwell, best-selling author, leadership expert, joining us. Craig Groeschel, founder and pastor of Life.Church, one of the largest churches in America and a world-class leader in his own right. Patrick Lencioni, best-selling author of Ideal Team Player, many other books. Marcus Buckingham, best-selling author, Strength Finders. You know Marcus, he's incredible. Dr. Adrienne Sternberg will be with us, leadership expert and speaker. She is a force of nature. Our Ramsey personalities, Ken Coleman will be doing a session. Christy will be doing a session. Dr. John Deloney will be doing a session. I'll be doing a couple of them. It is going to be incredible. It is a packed out 3-day experience on leadership. Our entire leadership team here in Nashville will be watching it live stream. And we have some live stream tickets currently available. If you want to have your team look in and watch over this 3 days, it is the way we are doing this. Your leadership team, a lot of you don't have formal leadership development programs to develop your people into leaders. This is the way you do it. You put this kind of content into minds and hearts, and it changes people. To register, text SUMMIT to 44222. Text SUMMIT to 44222. They'll talk to you about the standard live stream tickets are currently available for $1,350, and the live stream plus pass is only $2,500. You can get the whole office in there if you want to, and get them in there and watching it. And depending on the size of your operation, what you want to do there. But it's these are world-class teachers, thought leaders on the whole subject of business and leadership, and we have a great time doing this. Ramsey's open for business, baby. We're back out on the road again. Thank you, Willie. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Matt is with us. Matt is in Kansas City. Hi, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So, just a couple of quick questions for you. One is regarding my retirement account. I currently have about $185,000 in my retirement account, and I got my pension taken out from a previous employer, and I rolled it into that retirement account, about $100,000. And I'm just kind of want to get your input on what I should do with that. Should I spread it out on top of the mutual funds I have, or should I spread in ETFs or other stocks or anything like that?
I spread my personal retirement accounts, all of them from any sources, across 4 types of mutual funds: growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. All mutual funds that have at least a 10-year track record. If you have those in your current account that you've got this in, then just put it in those.
Okay. Would it be best to just do it all at once, or should I disperse it over the course of time?
What's it sitting in now?
It's just sitting in the account as cash at the moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just definitely get it invested now. I mean, fast as you can, because you're going to take advantage of the market. I mean, the market may go down 10 days after you invest it, but overall, 10 months after you invest it, the average is you're going to make money on it. I mean, you're investing long haul, so the sooner you get in, the longer the haul is. It's great.
Okay. I appreciate it. Just real quickly, my second question. My wife and I...
I'm sorry, I don't have a time for a second. Sorry about that. Craig is...
Finished baby step 3 a few months ago, and so we've been putting... Hi, Dave. So my wife and I finished baby step 3 a few months ago, and so we've been putting 15% of our income into retirement. We don't have any kids. We don't currently own a house. I'm about to transition my career, and I will be making substantially more money than previous, to where we will be no longer qualified to contribute to a Roth IRA.
Wonderful.
So my question is, yeah, thank you. My question is, since we know that we have a limited amount of time left to contribute to a Roth IRA, should we increase how much we are contributing now? And if we do we know when we formally become disqualified, like when we get our first big paycheck or after filing the higher tax return income?
No, it's just in the calendar year what your income is what it amounts to. If your income is going to exceed $200,000 in a calendar year, you're not going to be qualified for a Roth. But you could do backdoor Roth. I do a backdoor Roth, and I far exceed that income limit. A backdoor Roth is where you just open up I do it every year in January for the year before. And or for that year, I mean, I do it for that calendar year, actually. But you just open a traditional IRA after tax, not before tax. Okay? And then instantaneously roll it into a Roth. That's called a backdoor Roth. It's perfectly legal, but it's the way to beat the income limitation. You can't open a Roth, but you can roll into a Roth with any income.
Right, and just in the amount of time because I'm currently making less than would be required for that, should I increase how much I'm contributing now, since I know that in maybe
it won't matter. It won't matter if you make more than $200,000 in 2021. You cannot do a Roth in 2021 without doing it as a backdoor.
Gotcha.
It's not like I'm going to pass the veil over in July the 14th and after that. No, it's the calendar year. In that calendar year, what do you make? If you make too much, you can't do a traditional, you can't take the normal approach to a Roth. You'd have to do a backdoor Roth in that year, which is probably going to happen this year. Your 2021. Your 2020, that's last year. You know what? That's a known quantity. If you haven't done one, you can do one for it if you haven't filed your taxes yet. So, this is the Ramsey Show. Hey folks, I got a great option to help you pay for your education. The Army National Guard. The Army National Guard believes you are the next greatest generation because you have proven that even in adversity, that you have what it takes to succeed. That's why they offer benefits like tuition assistance, career training, and a paycheck to help you avoid debt. No matter what your goals are, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more. Thank you for joining us, America. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Ellie is with us Eli is with us in Kansas City. Hi, Eli. How are you?
Good, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I've scrambled your baby steps a little bit, and I'm prepared to be yelled at, but I need some advice.
I like this start already.
Right. I listen enough to know. So we have a little bit of a unique situation. My wife and I, we have paid off all of our smaller debts. So we have no credit cards, no car payments, no consumer debt, except we have about $62,000 in a consolidated student loan, and we have $68,000 left on our home. And I'm wondering, my question is, we are purchasing our home on contract from my wife's grandmother. It's 0 interest, and it was a 5-year deal, and whatever was left, we have to get a mortgage for and pay off the remainder. And so my question is, we have 1 year left. We will have about $60,000 in excess income over the next year. Should I pay the contract off on this home so I can avoid having to go out and get a mortgage, or should I put that toward my student loan debt?
What's the home worth?
The home is worth $168,000.
Okay. You need to go get a loan and pay Grandma today. This is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Because you just told me this is a land contract. You do not have this house in your name, do you?
It's a contract for deed.
Yeah, I know. I know what it is. It sucks really bad.
Okay.
Here's the problem. Grandma falls asleep at the wheel, hits somebody head on, and gets sued for the injuries, and there's a $5 million lien on her. It goes against this house that she owns. You don't own this house. You're a renter.
Okay.
Danger, danger. Land contracts are leave you horribly exposed. If she gets an IRS lien placed against her, it goes against this house. It's not your house. It's in her name.
So go ahead and go get a mortgage now.
This week.
And then just continue on with the baby steps and pay off the student loans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
But not for the reasons you thought you were going to get yelled at. But the
totally different reasons. Eli, congratulations.
So here's the thing. You need to go to a credit union or a small local bank You don't need to get a traditional mortgage for this. It's too expensive and there's no need. You should be able to get what is equivalent of a home equity loan. But here's what you're looking for. You need to be very demanding of this bank or this credit union. Write these things down. No closing costs. There's no reason for there to be a bunch of closing costs on a $60,000 loan on a $160,000 house. This is called a no-brainer loan. Okay?
Right.
No closing costs. Fixed rate. No balloons. And so put this on a 5-year or a 10-year, fully amortizing, meaning when you pay the payments, the loan disappears without a call or a balloon. No call, no balloon, fixed rate, no closing costs. And you may have to lean in on the young manager over at the credit union so they understand you. Because they're going to want to put this on some kind of home equity loan product with a variable rate where they change the rate at their whim, or it has a balloon on it or a call on it, or they're going to try to sneak in some closing costs, all of which are totally unacceptable. They will make this loan and they'll be happy they made it.
What's a call?
Okay.
A call is they have the ability to call the loan.
Anytime they want to.
Anytime they want. They look at it and they go, I don't like your financial situation anymore. Loan is due. And it turns into like something on the movies or something then. Bad movies.
We own a small business. We do about $2 million in revenue, and it all runs through our local credit union. And so we have a really good relationship. So hopefully
that would be. It should be easy then. It should be easy. But here's the thing. What I'm telling them to do is not the way their minds normally work. So you're going to have to be very strong and very clear. You don't have to be mean about it, but it's like, no. You misunderstood me. Fixed rate, no closing costs, no call, 10-year loan. Simple loan. And then you can go pay it off after you get your student loans paid off as quick as you want. The beauty of this is it didn't cost you anything to set this loan in place.
Yeah.
And you got rid of all this risk with Grandma.
All right. We will do that this week.
And Grandma will be smiling. She got her money, and then you can knock out those student loans and reach over and knock out that tiny mortgage because you're killing it. You're doing great with your business. Congratulations. Very cool. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So contract for deed or land contract are the same thing. It is simply a contract that says after you pay these payments for however many years, then they give you the deed. But until then, the house is not in your name.
Okay.
And it's a way a lot of owner financing is done, but it is dangerous. It's not dangerous for the seller.
Right.
It's dangerous for the buyer because the buyer hadn't bought anything.
Gotcha.
And so if the seller gets crossways, and I've seen this happen, they get some kind of a financial catastrophe that you cannot see coming.
Mm.
I mean, Grandma could fall asleep at the wheel. I mean, not because she's drinking. She could just fall asleep. You know, I mean, we don't have to call Grandma bad. It's just bad things sometimes happen, you know?
Right.
And so, I mean, the tire could blow out on her car.
Yeah.
And, you know, she swerves over and, you know, hits something and tears it up or hurts somebody or something. And it's just a horrible, called an accident. And yet the whole thing falls apart over here because you didn't have the property in your name. It's in her name. And her problems are going to end up on you.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And that's the danger of this. It's very dangerous. Because, you know, in his case, he could lose $100,000 of equity. He's got a $168,000 house he owes $62,000 on.
Yeah.
But it ain't his house.
Yeah.
And if this thing got sideways, he could lose all that. So get this done this week. Don't ever do those things. Don't ever do land contracts for deed. Ever, peoples. All right, Mary's in San Diego. Hey, Mary, what's up?
Hi, I'm so relieved to talk to you.
You
I
too.
have a Papa Dave question.
Sure. What's
Papa
up?
Dave question. Yes. So I'm the youngest sibling of a big family, and my dad's deceased, has been for more than a decade. My mom has dementia, and she's in care. I am in charge of a big family trust. My dad left a legacy. He was a great worker, a great man. Somewhere in between my mom being diagnosed with dementia and my dad dying, I was named trustee. I'm the youngest.
How old are you?
I'm almost 40.
Oh, okay. All right. So why were you selected?
There were questionable investments and questionable handling of money just in personal life and in business, you know. So I think my mom maybe there was a tad of emotion in there, but I'm level-headed and conservative. So
okay. All right. Because you got common sense. That's why you were selected. Okay. And how big is this trust?
It's the money in the bank is at $11 million, and then the properties are probably brings the estate to about 20 something.
Wow.
I know. Wow. My little family did rice and beans, rice, and we're good. I have a sweet little family that we take care of, but this is something else, right?
Yeah.
And I've been presented with a big investment opportunity from my oldest brother, and I'm just struggling with the...
What is big?
About half of that $11 million that's in investments right now.
And he wants you to invest it in what?
Purchase a best friend's company that's going to do double the business of what they're doing now. It's going to be multi-million.
I heard you say you didn't believe it.
I don't not believe it.
No, you don't believe it. Does she?
I don't believe it either.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, but I don't.
Hey, you're in charge. And you don't need to feel guilty for being in charge. You're put in charge because you got common sense. We may want to invest some of it rather than sitting in the bank, but I'm not sure this deal is the right deal. As a matter of fact, you're pretty sure it's not. I don't know anything about it, but you're pretty sure it's not. Christy Wright, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. If you've been paying attention to the real estate market in the last year, it's crazy! Have you noticed the competition out there is high? Inventories are low. Yeah, this is not amateur hour. You do not want to be dealing with a real estate agent that doesn't know what the flip they're doing right now. If you're selling a house, you got to have somebody who knows how to navigate this weirdness. If you're buying a house, you got to have somebody that knows how to navigate this weirdness. You need to get a pro, and we vet the top agents in your area. We do not let someone become an ELP unless they are proven. Years of success, lots of volume. They don't sell 3 houses a year and get to be an ELP for us. So you can instantly connect with an endorsed local provider in your area. Please do not get in this real estate market and just wander around like a lost sheep. You're going to get slaughtered, because it's just bad out there. I mean, you can really mess up right now, selling or buying, especially selling. If you're going to sell a house, get a high quality, somebody that really knows how to work this stuff, because you can make a lot more with somebody that knows what they're doing. Anyway, go to RamseySolutions.com/agent, RamseySolutions.com/agent. Get in touch with one of our endorsed local providers. All right, on the stage, that free stage with a question from Nashville is Caleb. Hey, Caleb, what's your question?
Hey, I want to say thanks for having me on. I know you didn't have to do this.
Sure.
So I hope you can give me some advice here.
We'll try.
So my grandma is 72 years old. She's debt-free, house and all. Her only assets are her house and a $60,000 CD. She recently started talking with her high school sweetheart after 55 years and has just gotten engaged. But the issues are, we've ran 3 background checks on this guy, and he's found out he's $500,000 in debt, largely to the IRS. Other than that, we talked to his ex-wife, and says he has a problem with overindulging alcohol, being a very dominant male figure. It has bad financial tendencies, obviously.
Yeah.
The thing is, she's not listened to any of these red flags, so she hasn't felt affection since my grandfather died about 17 years ago. And she's really flattered by, little gifts and stuff that, he's giving her. And we really tried to talk her out of this, but we just don't. She's all this stuff, all the red flags. Just it's going one ear out the other with her, just because she hasn't felt affection by a man. And I was just trying to see if you have any advice for me on how we should approach this situation before she gets married.
Wow.
Well, I want to first commend how much you care about her, because it shows that her family cares about her so much that y'all would go to that effort to do the background checks and think about her and look out for her and even come here and ask this question. So well done. You love her very much.
We do.
And that shows. Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful.
You know, even as he described it, he said she's 72.
Yeah.
And it's his grandmother. So when I think of a grandmother, I think of someone like, you know, that's a lot older than that. My mom's 72, Dave. So this would be like, you know, this question my mom. I'm like,
a 60-year-old grandfather. Shut up, Kristen. All right.
Grandparents. I think of grandparents as older, but 72, that's my mom.
Apple
I mean,
people,
you know.
Yeah. So the problem is not how to smoke the guy out. The problem is she's not willing to do it. I can give you some ideas on smoking him out, and he'll run. He'll run when you do this, but she has to do them, and so because you can't, you know, it's not illegal to be stupid.
Right.
That's the problem, and who will she listen to? Pastor? Another friend? Someone that's wise? She's not listening to her family.
She has 7 kids. She's only listening to one, and that one kid has just came out with our family as homosexual, and that's the only person that she's listening to, and he's the only one. You know, our family's very.
Well, is he concerned about this guy?
No, that's the thing. Like he had like a big spotlight. You know, we're all conservative Christians.
I understand, but I'm not worried about his lifestyle. What I'm concerned about is, does he still have influence with her, and is he questioning also this relationship?
He's not, because he's trying to get the spotlight. You know, he has his approval. Everything, no matter the red flags. This is like a big family
Okay, so
issue.
he's going along with it.
He's going along with it.
Okay, so he has influence, but he's not helpful because he wants to go along with it.
That's the only person.
That's because of the dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is there anyone that she trusts that will listen to her? That's who I'm looking for.
That's it. That's the only person.
She's not listening to pastor. She's not listening to friends.
She's not listening to nobody. We had, you know, my whole family here this weekend for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And the guy showed up, and it was a big fiasco. But, you know, we try to talk to her, and we don't know what else to do, and we're really scared for her.
Yeah, I'm scared for her too, because I think she's been taken. I don't know how to stop it from happening.
Yeah.
Because it's not illegal, and she just got bad judgment. That's what it amounts to, and you've outlined why you think that is, and I, you know, with what you're telling me, assuming all the information you have is correct, it's a bad situation. Mm-hmm. Obviously, she doesn't need to go forward on it, but I mean, all she would have to do is just say, I need a prenup before marriage. I need to put everything over here to the side that I currently own, that you don't have access to it, to ensure that this relationship is not about, and she could blame it on the family.
Right.
She could say, so that my family will shut up.
Okay.
Maybe you talk to her about that. If anybody's having a conversation with her that's normal, at normal tones, without it screeching and yelling and all this. But I mean, if whoever's having a calm conversation, hey, Granny, here's what you ought to do. Blame it on me, and tell him that you need to have a prenuptial agreement to put all of your assets aside so that my kids will shut up.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there a way to where she has to have like a co-signer of the family? Because
no.
Okay, so it'd still be her decision then.
It's her decision to do it, or not do it.
Yeah.
She's an adult. She's allowed to. She's allowed to conduct business and allowed to get married and allowed to do all this. I mean, unless she is proven incompetent mentally, and you've not mentioned that.
No, she's not.
Lonely is not mental incompetence. Needing of affection is not mental incompetence. So you'd have to go into court and prove her. Like if she had Alzheimer's or something, you could get a guardian appointed to her by the judge, right? And then you would take away her rights to do transactions on her behalf because she's not capable.
Yeah, and that's what I had said.
This is just bad judgment. This is not any of that.
What did she say? Did y'all present this with her of like the $500,000 of IRS debt and all that? Did y'all talk to her about that?
Yeah,
and what did she say?
She's almost like she don't even believe it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, we've even hired a PI, and the other day the PI even told us to, because when he showed up, they said, you know, kidnap your mom because this is a bad situation.
Wow.
And, you know, it's just like we try to talk to her.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do that. That's a federal crime, okay?
Right. I'm just saying, like, what they
PI's
said.
an idiot, but yeah. I mean, I guess he's just being melodramatic.
Yeah,
but I mean, I might take her on a long trip though.
Right.
A friendly type of kidnapping.
Hey, Granny, we're going to Hawaii for 3 weeks.
A vacation. A vacation.
Okay,
kidnapping.
load her up. Here we go. Yeah. If your family has if you can get her out from under his influence long enough on a vacation, a family vacation or something. But if somebody can just say, Granny, listen, blame it on me.
Yeah.
Just blame it on me. That the kid, in order for my kids to shut up, I need to do a prenup because that'll make you sure that this guy's real. And if you do that, I'll shut up and I'll stand with you against the rest of the family and we'll shut up if you'll at least get a prenup. Because once she introduces prenup to Duber's going to run.
Yeah. Okay.
Because this guy's after one thing.
That's
money.
what we all say too.
Yeah. I think he is. I think you've identified that. And I really don't disagree with your conclusions on that. But wow, that is so hard. It's so hard. And yeah. And there's a lot of dynamic going on in the whole family. So wow, what a deal. Hey man, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Open phones this hour. 888-825-5225. You think he's a scammer?
Oh, yeah.
No question.
And what's interesting is they can present the prenup idea and not even have to go through with it because he'll run it just the threat of it.
If she puts it up there, it's a test.
It's a test.
Granny, here's how you can test him and how you can shut all of us up.
That's right. All at once.
Maybe you get in her ear on that, but I don't know. I kind of don't think so. I think that things are too melted down now. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. Sandra Day O'Connor said, do the best you can in every task, no matter how unimportant it may seem at the time. No one learns more about a problem than the person at the bottom. Wow, amazing. Jordan's with us in Salt Lake. Hi, Jordan. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hello, Dave and Christy. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I just have a question about refinancing my primary residence. Currently, just got married last year. She and my beautiful wife decided to take on 4 children that I had into our marriage, so it was great. We have this primary residence. We built out the basement. Currently owe about $250,000 on that. I owned another home before we got married. We currently rent out that home, owed about $250,000 on that as well. The primary residence is worth quite a bit more. It's worth about $500,000. Curious about refinancing, doing a cash-out refi on our primary residence to start paying down that rental home and start getting more cash flow off of that.
Well, if we reverse engineer that and say, I want to refinance my personal residence in order to buy a rental home, that makes me go, no, and so you didn't get into this rental home because you set out for it to be a rental home. It's by default, it was the old place you used to live.
Correct. Yes. And currently my parents actually rent that home, so it works out great for us.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
It's good because they sold their home to get out of debt. That was the biggest thing. So we were like, hey, you can rent it. And we've never had issues with payment or anything. So,
yeah. How long is that going to go on?
Kind of indefinitely right now. I told them they could live there as long as they'd like. And works out great for us. But yeah, that's the biggest thing is, we have equity in both homes, obviously more in our primary residence. It's a lot larger home. So we're just, we could sell that rental home, for example, maybe cash out.
That's what I was going to suggest, is you sell it
Yeah.
and use the money from it to lower your balance on yours. But now you're putting your parents in the street, so that adds a variable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
they're
would.
okay with whatever.
Before I heard about the parents, I had already sold that house a minute ago. But now that makes it difficult. So I just hadn't gotten around to telling you yet. But
waiting for a break.
but so you're going to be holding that house as long as mom and dad are in there, I guess. And if you're going to be doing that, then we decide, okay, we have no other debt, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah.
And you have your emergency
28 years
fund,
old, no
right?
debt.
And you're putting 15%
yeah.
of your income into retirement, then this is just baby step 6, and it just is a matter of which of these do I pay off. Why would you, what's your current interest rate on the one you're living in?
So they're both the same, 3.375, so pretty decent.
Yeah, I would just sit on both of them, and let's just pay your personal residence off first and your rental off second. Or if mom and dad ever do move on, then sell the rental at that point. But no, I would not borrow on my personal residence to buy a rental or to pay off a rental, either one. I'd have more of a tendency to do it the other way around, because I don't put where you live at risk with more debt. So we're going to avoid that. Naomi is with us. Naomi, screwed that up. All right, let's see here. Naomi is in Fresno. Hi, Naomi. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing well. So nice to connect with you guys. How are you?
Great. How can we help?
Okay, Dave. So I'm kind of lost. I just got summoned last week, and I'm being sued for 2 credit cards for Bank of America. And so I talked to an attorney. Attorney said, okay, in your situation, we can go ahead and do bankruptcy Chapter 7.
Yeah, this would be a bankruptcy attorney. Asking a bankruptcy attorney if you're bankrupt's like asking a dog if it's hungry.
True.
Yeah. So how much is the balance on these credit cards?
Okay, so in total, it's about $13,000. So
you don't file bankruptcy over $13,000, Naomi. No. Why haven't you paid them?
But I'm sorry?
Why have you not been able to pay them, hon?
I had a personal loan, so I started paying that. And then I had another credit card with Citibank, so I started paying that as well. And then I had foot surgery. And then I had to take on another job, which I took a pay cut because I moved. So pretty much I just kind of fell on my payments.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you make now? What do you make now?
I'm on unemployment, and I make about 2 weeks. They give me about $1,400.
Okay. They're not going to get anything if they sue you. You don't have anything.
I don't even have a car.
They can't get unemployment.
And I also have another card for Capital One, which I owe $5,000.
Doesn't matter. They can't get anything. You don't have anything. So your problem is not your debt. Your problem is your income that you don't have.
Right.
I mean, if you got a job making $30,000 a year, we can walk you out of this in no time.
Yeah. And the thing is,
you're not bankrupt, honey. You're trying to live on unemployment, and life is not designed to do that. You have no income.
Right. And I'm correct. And I'm moving in 2 weeks down to SoCal. So I'm hoping that by then, maybe in 2-3 weeks, I can find a full-time job and maybe get a little more income.
You're moving where?
Right. To SoCal, Southern California.
Oh, SoCal.
Why you keep moving?
Yeah. Because my boyfriend's job kind of keeps him moving around. So this is probably like the 4th time we've moved in like the past probably 3 years.
Yeah, when are you figuring out this ain't working for you?
It's not working for me.
So quit following him around and being broke.
Yeah, I actually thought about it. I actually thought about just leaving and kind of doing my own thing.
Yeah.
And but with my financial situation, it's just been kind of hard.
Yeah.
But I have thought about it.
Your financial situation is you don't have a job.
Right.
And it's hard because of what you've been doing for the last 3 years. It might actually get easier if you could have an income. If you could stay put in one place and get a job and make some good money, that could fix this whole thing.
Yeah, you can clean up this debt in no time once you get your career goals straightened out and get your life straightened out, kiddo. You do not have a debt problem. You have a life problem and a career problem. And your career problem stems from your life problem because you're following Duber around and you got no life.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's like I really don't know what to do, and I figured maybe if bankruptcy would be an option.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't
really
help Naomi. It doesn't help Sweet Naomi. What helps Sweet Naomi is when Sweet Naomi starts valuing Sweet Naomi's the quality of life over following Duber around. You are worth more than this. You are more valuable than this, girl. The only way you get to follow Duber to SoCal is when you make more than he makes, and you start telling him what to do. Because this is drained the bone marrow out of your life. You have no money, you have no career, you have no income, and you're calling me about filing bankruptcy on a tiny, tiny little amount of debt that could be cleared up in no time. I can settle $13,000 that Bank of America is suing you on for probably $2,000, but you ain't seen $2,000 in a long time, kiddo.
No, I do have a savings.
Honey, you have a career problem. You have to get your income going, and you have to value Naomi enough to put Naomi at the front of the list. Naomi's getting trampled on. She's taking care of everybody but Naomi. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Sound like I'm being too tough on her.
No.
Sweet girl.
No.
Seriously, sweet girl, love yourself a little bit. It's not a bad thing. It's not being selfish. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.